Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As tonight was WWE Backlash, and really, what I thought of Backlash was it was a great show. It was a great show with a weird finish, I guess you can say. I'll get to it when we get to it at the end, but I felt like something was supposed to happen that maybe didn't happen. I don't know. Something odd just felt off about the end of the show, with Cody getting the flash victory and then them just showing Brock sitting in the ring, and then they kept cutting back to Cody, and then they cut back to Brock all bloody, which is very weird. So yeah, not 100% sure what was up with that end of the show, but nonetheless, really enjoyed tonight's Backlash pay-per-view. That Bad Bunny match, that street fight, and everything involved with it just felt like a WrestleMania moment. It felt like something that they should have done at WrestleMania, but if they would have done that at WrestleMania, I don't think it would have been the same as it was here tonight in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So kudos on them for waiting to do the Bad Bunny stuff and not just doing it at WrestleMania because that's the biggest show of the year. But regardless, I thought overall, great show from the WWE. So with that, we'll get into all that and more in just a moment. With a little housekeeping, I want to say thank you if you are watching, whether that's live or later. Remember, you can watch all of our podcasts live or later, whether that's youtube.com/PW Unlimited, or you can watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, we'll also remember you can catch all these podcasts in audio form on podcast platforms all around the globe, like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and they always give you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you could support us over on YouTube by becoming a channel member. Hit that join button down below to become a channel member, and finally head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, getting into the early access of Disney Speedstorm, claiming one of the free games, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. I mean, right now on the Epic Game Store, they got a bunch of Star Wars sales going on. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga that normally is $49.99 right now, only $20. Only $20. You can also go claim the free games like Horizon Chase Turbo, Koa the Kangaroo, and Against All Odds. All three fun games that I have played. All three fun games. Go claim those, or get some bucks for Fortnite. Get some V-Bucks and get into their Star Wars stuff as well. So with that, use code PWNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Now, as far as Backlash does go, unfortunately, we didn't get a live in the building pre-show. We got one from Stamford. It was Matt Camp, Peter Rosenberg, and I always forget her name, Jackie Redman, I think it is. Jackie Redman, I believe. And it was okay. It was kind of boring, to be completely honest. And I really wasn't paying too much attention to that. Actually watching Frankie Muniz racing in the Arc Menard series. But the show itself did kick off with Michael Cole introducing us to a sold-out crowd of 17,944. Corey Graves and Michael Cole are on English commentary as they sent it over to Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto taking care of the Spanish commentary, sitting at ringside. The show opened up with the Raw Women's Championship on the line as Bianca Belair defended against Io Sky. Super good opening match, super fun. Thoroughly enjoyed this match itself. Got way more time than I expected. It went 18 minutes. Good question, Dwayne. He says, where was Kayla? Kayla was there in Puerto Rico. She co-hosted with Jerry Soto the press conference yesterday, and she was doing the Smackdown interviews last night. So, I mean, she was there, but I didn't see her on the broadcast for Backlash whatsoever. But yeah, Taylor Braxton was in Puerto Rico. So, Io Sky was the crowd favorite for sure. This crowd really wanted to see Io win the belt. Unfortunately, she didn't. Sky was in control early on, though, until Belair came back with a backbreaker, some drop kicks, and a vertical suplex, delayed vertical suplex. Belair then held Sky up with one arm and did the whole, okay, I'm going to press you. I'm going to drop one arm. You balance on my shoulder, but little mistimed here. And I think when Bianca went to throw Io, she wasn't ready or something, so she didn't flip properly. Io landed right on her face. Just boom, crashed down right on her face. Belair followed this up, though, with a moonsault and got a 2 off of it. Sky missed a charge, and Belair went into the buckle with her previously hurt arm. Sky then followed this up with the springboard drop kick. Belair then shoved Sky off the top, but Sky got her knees up on a Belair 450. Sky then applied a crossface, but Belair countered out of it. Belair then tried a powerbomb, but Sky countered into a facebuster for a 2. Sky then followed this up with double knees in the corner and traded counters until Sky blocked a second attempt of a KOD and chucked Belair out of the ring. Sky hit Belair with a moonsault off the top to the outside, which drew a 2 count back in the ring. Sky then tried a Hurricane Rana off the top, but Belair held on and hit an avalanche powerbomb for a near fall. Then Bayley and Dakota came down, who were not at ringside at all for this match prior to this. They would make their way down to the ring to distract Bianca, and Sky grabbed her by the braid. Belair then used Sky's body to knock Kai off the apron, and Sky rolled her up for a very close near fall. Like, I think the ref may have actually hit 3, but it wasn't 3. At one point, Bianca Belair was down, and Io was going to the top. Bayley was holding her down by the braid, Bianca that is, and the referee caught it and told her, hey, stop, let her go, you're out of here. This then led to Io kind of hesitating on the top rope. Bianca then got to her feet. Or no, that's what it was. She went for the moonsault and missed. Belair then hit the KOD and picked up the victory. So there we go. The slight hesitation of Bayley getting caught led to Bianca being able to move out of the way because she was able to catch her breath or whatever you want to say. She hits the KOD and pins Io to pick up the victory. Really fun, really good, really great opening match. I liked it. I thought this was good, and the crowd was super into it. Really, really, really into Io, like they wanted her to be the babyface. I'm going to turn my fan on. It's a little warm in here. 2 seconds. Okay, I needed 3.5 seconds. My bad. But thoroughly enjoyed the opening match there. So as we move forward, Rey Mysterio approached Bad Bunny as he was getting ready for his street fight. And we see none other than Savio Vega. Yes. Former Los Boricuas Savio Vega appears on screen. Crowd goes wild. And he presented Bad Bunny with a kendo stick that had the Puerto Rican flag on it. Very interesting. Not the last time we see him either. So the next match we did get went 10.5 minutes. It was Seth Rollins and Omos. And I didn't hate it. I thought, okay, this match is going to be 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7 max. And it's going to be just Seth getting knocked down and fighting back and knocked down and fighting back. And there was a lot of that, but this was not what I expected. And this was really, really good, if I'm going to say so, especially for an Omos match. Before the match started, Omos dropped Rollins. Rollins is just standing there, soaking it in as the crowd's going, oh. And he's just soaking it in. And finally, Omos has enough and just, boom, kicks Seth right in the back of the head. Ref checks on Seth, and the match starts. Omos immediately runs at him and drops him with a shoulder tackle as the match begins. Rollins posted Omos and hit a suicide dive at one point, but Omos barely budged. Rollins tried another, but Omos caught him and slammed him on the apron. Rollins then came back with a flying knee, kick to the leg, and a drop kick to the leg, but he only brought Omos down to one knee. Rollins then hit a thrust kick, but Omos countered off of a pedigree attempt with a back body drop. Rollins managed to hit Omos with a tornado DDT, and he followed up with a frog splash, but only got a 1 count to where Omos threw Seth off of him. Rollins then followed this up with some strikes, but he couldn't hit the curb stomp because, well, when he tried to do it, Omos just sat up kind of and was like, oh. He's got like the leg on the back of Omos's head, and Omos is just like, oh, you want to try and stomp me? I think Bobby Lashley has done this once before as well. But regardless, Omos follows this up with a chokeslam and gets a 2 on Rollins. Rollins then hit a stomp at one point as MVP distracted the ref, so Rollins super kicked him off the apron. Rollins stomped Omos again, but got a near fall. Rollins then acted shocked as the crowd began singing his song again. Rollins then climbed the ropes and jumped off, I think it was the top rope, hit a curb stomp from the top rope onto Omos and pinned him to pick up the victory. Crowd went wild with Seth winning this match. So yeah, I liked this. It was the smaller guy having to topple the giant, and it gives Seth really good momentum going into the world title tournament that I assume he's going to be in. Speaking of that, now we didn't hear what time, but Michael Cole did note that tomorrow morning on social media, WWE will announce all 12 competitors for the upcoming World Heavyweight Championship title tournament. Remember, 6 from Raw, 6 from SmackDown will be competing to become the first ever, or the first new, whatever you want to call it, World Heavyweight Champion. And again, Michael Cole did note that all 12 competitors, all competitors in this tournament will be announced tomorrow morning on WWE's social media. We don't know exactly what time that's going to be, which really sucks for me because I got to go to my mom's house and help her with some stuff in the morning. But I want to be home when all that gets announced so I can report it and make videos and content. And it's like, oh, do I go to her house and hope it happens after? Or do I just hope it happens before? I don't know. We'll see. So we had a triple threat for the United States Championship. Was this the shortest match of the night? I want to check. How long did the SmackDown Women's title match go? Yeah. By about 20 seconds. This was the shortest match of the night. Because the U.S. title match went about 6 minutes and 45, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And the Raw Women's Championship match went a little over 7 minutes. Like 7:10-ish. So, yeah. But as far as this match does go, really good. And I liked the way Austin Theory won. Austin Theory picks up the victory, but with nefarious, as Matt Hardy would say, tendencies. Stealing said victory. So early on, Lashley was working over Theory until Theory and Reed worked together to take down Lashley. The unit didn't last too long because Reed dropped Theory with a body block. Lashley held Theory in the hurt lock until Theory was able to use the ropes to escape. With Lashley down, Reed hit a tsunami, but Theory broke up the cover. Theory then gave Reed a rolling blockbuster and got the big man on his shoulders, but Reed slipped out before he could hit an A-Town down. Reed hit a power slam and tried to go for the moonsault, but Theory moved and Lashley speared Reed. As Reed was down from the spear, Theory would throw Lashley from the ring, roll up Reed, and pin him 1, 2, 3. There we go. Theory retains the title by stealing, basically, Bobby Lashley's pin. Now, you might say, well, maybe since Bobby and Austin are both going to SmackDown, we could see Bobby want to, get a rematch here, saying, hey, I had the match won and you stole it from me. But I don't think that's going to happen because during this match on commentary, Michael Cole noted that he spoke with Bobby Lashley, and Lashley is very excited to go to SmackDown and actually has his eyes set on Roman Reigns. So, could Bobby Lashley be the next challenger for Roman Reigns and the Undisputed Championship? Roman needs somebody to fight at the upcoming Night of Champions show, so maybe that's Bobby Lashley. Lashley finishes off his deal with Austin Theory here tonight. We go into SmackDown next week. He's in the tournament, doesn't get out of the first round or something, and there we go. But they did tease in this match that Bobby Lashley wants to go after and challenge Roman Reigns. Now, as we move forward, speaking of SmackDown titles, the SmackDown Women's Championship was on the line when Rhea Ripley defended against Zelina Vega, and boy, was this awesome for Zelina. So Rhea comes out first, and then out comes Zelina Vega. We hear the LWO music, Viva la Raza, and then the LWO music plays, and she walks out, and she's got these wings. She goes, woof, and it's the Puerto Rican flag on her back, basically, but like the length of her wingspan. So she's in the aisle, which great, unique-ish stage setup here. We saw it last night on SmackDown as well. And she walks down, goes to ringside, hugs her mom, stepdad, brother, and I think uncle, who they said once wrestled Pedro Morales. And she gets in the ring, and she's just trying her damnedest not to cry. And she's just like, and she's so emotional that I almost start crying. And this is great, amazing. Crowd's loving Zelina. They're going wild for her. Samantha Irving does the announcing. She does, the challenger, Zelina Vega, and the crowd's, yeah, ooh, ah, they're losing their minds. And then the Rhea Ripley, boo, whatever. But this match was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Vega, again, like I said, received a huge ovation from the live crowd in Puerto Rico. And this crowd, until the main event, felt like a WrestleMania crowd. And then it's like either they didn't care about Brock and Cody for the most part, or they were just tired. So Vega and Ripley are going at it early on. And at one point, early in the match, Vega slides to the outside, and her mother hands her a chancla. If you don't know what that is, it's a flip-flop. And why is a chancla a big deal? Because, in Mexican culture, when you get in trouble, your mom, your grandma, they're going to whip you with a chancla. Just like us rednecks. They tell you get in trouble, go find a switch. Well, that's the Mexican culture switch. They just going to beat you with a chancla. They don't use no belt. Anyways, she threw it at Ripley, who was still in the ring, and it kind of really did nothing. It was a funny moment, but it really was insequential to anything that really happened. At one point, Vega fought back with some forearms as the crowd was cheering for Zelina, but Ripley cut her off with a headbutt. Ripley tried to go for the riptide, and Zelina countered it into a spike DDT. At one point, Vega went for a Hurricane Rana, but Zelina stopped it. Or no, Rhea stopped it and powerbombed Zelina. She went for the pin. Nonchalant pin, basically just like sitting on her. 1, 2, Zelina kicks out. Zelina then gets some momentum here. She drops Rhea on the ropes and actually hits a 619. She then goes to so she climbs the ropes. And Michael Cole goes, "Oh, Vega's going to the top rope." And then she climbs like over the top rope to the middle rope. He goes, "Oh, just the second rope." And then she does the Eddie Guerrero shimmy shimmy. She pays tribute. Boom, Meteora off the middle ropes. Double C, I got the belt too. And I'm lighter pigmentation. I got the belt too. But yeah, a switch is a real thing too. He's like, go outside and find a switch for me to smack you with, which is basically a big old stick to get your butt whooped with. Anyways. She hits the Meteora, goes for the pin, only gets a 2 off of it. Finally, Ripley goes, oh, she's not playing around. Oh, I need to end this. She grabs her hits her in the head, hits her with the riptide, and pins Zelina 1, 2, or as this crowd was saying, uno, dos, tres. So Rhea Ripley does pick up the decisive victory over Zelina Vega. Then, in a goosebumps type moment, like I got goosebumps, Zelina stands up after, so Rhea gives her the ring. Rhea just leaves. And Zelina stands up. And she starts crying again, a very emotional moment. And literally all 17,944 people stand up and get on their feet and give Zelina a standing ovation. Now they're chanting something in Spanish, and I don't know what it was. If you're watching in the live chat, let me know. But they chanted something to her in Spanish. Again, not sure what it was. But it sounded like something they were saying to her yesterday at the press conference as well. And she got really emotional. She soaked it all in. And yeah, super cool moment for Zelina Vega. Then we got the match of the night. The biggest thing on this show. The San Juan Street Fight. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. And the match itself went 25 minutes. Now, they say right now in professional wrestling, you get the biggest pop when you bring out somebody like a Stone Cold, a John Cena, or The Rock. Well, take any of those and times it by 2, and that's the reaction Bad Bunny got when he came out here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Like, holy crap. So, they said he was supposed to have new music. I don't follow Bad Bunny and his music. So, was this a different song? Because the words, when the words came on, it sounded different. But the beginning sounded the same as that Booker T song. So, I don't know. It sounded kind of different, but I don't follow Bad Bunny's music, so I could be wrong. Regardless, Bad Bunny comes out. So Damian Priest comes out first. And Bad Bunny then comes out. And this place goes apeshit. This place went so wild that you would have thought, and maybe he is, and I'm just not connected well enough, that you saw the most popular person in the entire world. And it's like, holy crap. These guys and girls and kids and whatever, the reaction for Bad Bunny was like any WrestleMania pop, but bigger, that we've seen in a while. But in all actuality, this match was a great street fight. We knew there was going to be the interference from Judgment Day. We knew there was going to be the interference from the LWO. We got some normal wrestlers interfere as well, but we'll talk about that here in a moment. And so, like, I thought there was going to be way more LWO, way more Judgment Day. No, they let Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, for the most part, go out there. And I feel like 20 of the 25 minutes that this match went didn't have anybody else out there but Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. And that's a lot of confidence to have on these two. Bad Bunny, not a regular, or not as regular as a Logan Paul. Like, we don't know Bad Bunny's training regimen, how often he's in a ring, how often he is training for this stuff, like Logan Paul, who Logan Paul knows, okay, I got this coming up, I'm going to train for a month or so, because he said that before. He puts the time in before matches. We don't know about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, 2 weeks ago, he was performing at Coachella. Last week, on the 1st of May, he was at the Met Gala. So it's like, okay, guy, you keep busy. But I'm going to say right now, Bad Bunny went in there, bowed up to Damian Priest, and didn't look out of place. Did not look like a celebrity coming in to play wrestler. Looked like a regular guy in pro wrestling. Looked like somebody that is there more often than he is. That is there as much, if not more, than Logan Paul normally is. And Logan Paul's the other exception to this, where it's like, he doesn't come off as a celebrity playing wrestler. He comes off as a pro wrestler. And what did Bad Bunny come off as tonight? Just another, and not saying another in a bad way, but he came off as just another professional wrestler. Again, not a celebrity playing wrestler. And that's not a knock. Some might say, oh, you're calling him just an average whatever wrestler. No, I am saying that he felt like a normal, actual, real pro wrestler and not just a celebrity. And Adam Jones says in the chat, Priest made him look good. True. But I'm saying from the jump, from the get-go, from the entrance, from the time he got into the ring and bowed up to Damian Priest, he looked like he belonged and wasn't just like Money Mayweather when he came in to fight the Big Show. Snooki, when she did WrestleMania 25, I think it was 25, maybe it was 26. I can't remember exactly. Let me know in the comments of the chat below. And it's like, you see these celebrities come in, and it's like, oh, they're here for a payday or to have some fun. But you see guys like Bad Bunny come in, and it's like, no, these are guys here because they want to work. They want to do this. They want to be wrestlers. Kid Vicious, thank you. WrestleMania 27 was Snooki. So it's like, yeah, these aren't guys coming in here for the publicity or the payday. These are guys coming in here like a Logan Paul, like a Bad Bunny, because they want to try pro wrestling as pro wrestlers, not as celebrities playing pro wrestlers. So that's what I got to say about that. But Priest tried toying with Bad Bunny early, and Bad Bunny responded with a damn good-looking Michinoku driver about a minute into the match and got a 2 off of it. Bad Bunny then grabbed the kendo stick, but Priest cut him off. He ripped the stick in half, and he slammed him. Bad Bunny, that is. Bad Bunny then tried fighting back a few times, but Priest worked him over easily and hit the South of Heaven, thinking it was over, but it wasn't. Well, kinda over. Priest technically pinned him like 5 minutes into this, but it kept on going. Well, he could have, I guess you could say, could have pinned him about 5 minutes into this. He goes for the pin, boom, boom, he lifts him up. And it's like, oh, we're doing one of these things. We're doing one of these things. Had it won, but wants to toy with them. Priest wasted too much time before trying a dive, and Bad Bunny chucked a chair in his face. Bad Bunny then followed this up with some kendo stick shots and a tornado DDT. Bad Bunny then went to the top and hit a flying crossbody to the outside. Bad Bunny then smacked Priest with the trash can lids and hit a Falcon Arrow for a 2. Priest then realized that he was bleeding as Bad Bunny invited him back into the ring. Priest acted like he was going to leave as Bad Bunny came after him with the trash can. Priest then turned around and booted it right in Bad Bunny's face. Priest then hit Bad Bunny with a kendo stick that Savio Vega had given him earlier in the night, and the crowd starts chanting, Bonito, Bonito, Bonito. Not Bonito, Benito. I know, I kind of sound like me saying Bonito. They fought into the crowd, which led to Priest giving Bad Bunny a Falcon Arrow off of some equipment boxes through a big old, I guess you could say, square box thing that obviously had a crash pad in it, but still. Like through a bunch of tables and what. Adam Pearce then runs out. Other officials run out. Damian Priest then kind of gets his wits about him. And they're like, no, he's done. Bad Bunny can't continue. No. And Priest is like, oh, screw that. And he grabs him. And so he brushes it all off. He carries him back to the ring. Priest tried a roundhouse kick, but Bunny ducked, and Priest kicked the ring post. This was all on the outside. Bad Bunny then attacked Priest's leg with a kendo stick and drove it into the post. Priest then pleaded with Bad Bunny back in the ring. Well, actually, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. He pleaded with the referee, and Bad Bunny actually grabbed a steel chair. So Priest is laying in the ring with his legs straddling the turnbuckle, hanging on the outside. Bad Bunny then grabs a chair, boom, hits the knee of Damian Priest and gets back into the ring with a chair. Bad Bunny then looked like he was going to hit him again with the chair, and Priest begs him, no, I'm sorry. We could be friends again. This doesn't need to keep going. And Bad Bunny's like, oh, okay, well, and he starts yelling at him in Spanish, and then he kind of like pulls the chair back a little, and Priest kicks him right in the frickin' face because of the hesitation. Priest then grabs the chair, and Bad Bunny gives him a low blow. This is when Judgment Day would run out. Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor to ambush Bad Bunny. Rey Mysterio would then also run out to make the save, but they knocked him down. Then we hear some music, and I go, this sounds oddly familiar, but what the hell is it? What music is this? And all we see is Dominic and Finn in the ring, and they're not showing us anything else for a moment. They're not showing us anything else for a minute, right? They're not showing us the ramp, the video playing on the boards, none of that. And then all of a sudden, we see Carlito. Carlito, Caribbean, cool, makes his way to the ring. And I go, what? Carlito's here? I lost my mind for a moment. And so Carlito comes out, takes a bite of the apple, and Dom tries attacking him from behind, but Rey gave Dom a 619, and Carlito spat the apple in Dom's face. Dom and Balor then backed away up the ramp, tried to leave, when out would come Savio Vega. Vega stood there for a while, didn't let anybody get by him, and eventually, out would come the remaining members of the LWO. Santos Escobar, Walking Wild, and Cruz del Toro. Then, they beat up Judgment Day 6-on-2. 6-on-2. It was Dom and Finn against Rey, Carlito, Savio Vega, Escobar, Wild, and Del Toro. They like put the boots to Dom and Balor. At one point, Balor gets to his feet, thinks he's all clear, and nope. Savio Vega hits him a couple times and hits him with a roundhouse kick. Vega also decked Don as well. Like, he punched Dom right in the face right after he did like the back axe kick thing that Booker T used to always do. Dom and Balor then finally ran for their lives as they were chased to the back. Back in the ring, Bad Bunny put Priest in a figure 4 leg lock. Priest grabbed him by the throat and tried to choke slam, but Bad Bunny countered into a cradle for a 2. Priest then tried to charge, but crashed into the steel steps, and Bunny followed this up with a sliced bread numero dos, and only got a 2 off of it. Bad Bunny then beat the crap out of Priest with a steel chair, hit a Canadian Destroyer, and pinned him to pick up the victory. The LWO, Savio Vega and Carlito all then came down to the ring to celebrate with Bad Bunny. They lifted Bad Bunny up on their shoulders, and we got this awesome shot. I'm going to pull this up on the screen to close out this match and segment and so forth. So this was really, really cool. Again, this felt like a WrestleMania moment. Let's pull this up on the screen right here. Like, this was great. This was awesome. We got this moment right here. You've got Savio Vega. You've got Carlito, Walking Wild, Cruz del Toro, Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, all celebrating with San Benito, Bad Bunny, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So yeah, very, very, very cool stuff. This was awesome, and it should have main evented. It really should have been the main event. It should have been the last thing we should have saw on this show was the LWO, Savio Vega and Carlito celebrating with Bad Bunny and the crowd going wild. This really should have been the last thing we saw on the show. I don't know why Brock and Cody had to go on last, but yeah. I said all week that this match should have main evented, but it's not my job to pick what main events. I can give my opinion, but my opinion obviously doesn't really matter. No podcaster's opinion for the most part really matters, so yeah, we give our opinions, and we tell you what we thought. That's about it. But overall, great match, segment, whatever you want to call it. Whole thing, tremendous. So then we had the 6-man tag team match. It was the Bloodline against the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. This match did a lot because it, A, Confirmed by Michael Cole that the tag champs can go back and forth between brands because they kept making it sound like they couldn't. And B, it kind of ended the stuff with the Usos and Kevin and Sammy, maybe, kinda. But then C, it started tension with Jimmy and Solo. Like, big tension. Excuse me. So the babyfaces worked over the Usos early on until Solo tagged himself in to get the better of Zayn, and the Bloodline took over from there. There was a brief "We want Roman" chant from the crowd in San Juan, and Jimmy Uso told them, "He's not here!" Zayn then fought back, but his partners were taken out. Zayn dropped Sikoa with the Tornado DDT and made the tag to Riddle, who went to town on the Usos before wiping out the Bloodline with a dive. Jimmy nailed him with a super kick back in the ring for a 2. Riddle suplexed Jimmy off the top, and Owens followed this up with a senton bomb for a 2. Owens avoided a super kick, which resulted in Jimmy super kicking Jay by accident. Owens took out Solo and hit Jay with a pop-up powerbomb for a 2. Graves noted that we almost never see miscommunication like this from the Usos. Owens tried a senton, but Jay got his knees up. Owens and Jay then traded super kicks until Owens dropped him with a clothesline. They tagged out, and Zayn gave Jimmy a blue thunder bomb for a 2. Zayn fought off both Usos, but they caught him in midair with super kicks for a 2. Jay then yelled at Zayn for trying to destroy their family, basically. Jay was then going to go for the running hip attack when he was slapped on the back of Solo, tagging himself in. And Jimmy looks at him and was like, oh no, it was Jay. Maybe it was you. No, I think it was Jay. Looks at him and goes, "Doing?" And Solo's like, "Let me finish this." So he gets in the ring. Jay gets on the apron and slaps himself right back in, tags himself right back in. Solo's looking at him like, what the hell's going on? Big brother, not happy with little brother right now. Solo couldn't do anything. Jay gets back in. Zayn then gave Sikoa a haluva kick because Jay ducked. He missed Jay, but hit Solo and knocked him off the apron. Zayn then caught Jay with a haluva kick after that, though, but Solo did break up the pin. The crowd's buzzing here at this point as Solo seemed to turn his attention to Jay, and then Riddle cut him off with a knee strike. Jimmy then chucked Riddle from the ring. Owens super kicked Jimmy, and Solo turned Owens inside out with a Samoan spike. Solo then felt somebody grab him from behind. It was Jay. He grabs Jay, like he's going to hit him with a Samoan spike, thinking, I don't know who grabbed me, but I got to defend myself. Jay was like, what the hell are you doing? Solo almost hits him with the spike, but he doesn't. And this is all broken up by Sammy. Riddle then finally tags in and gave Jay a bro Derek. Solo then tags himself in, gives Riddle the Samoan spike, and pins him to pick up the victory. So Solo is the one that picks up the win for the Bloodline here. Solo gets the big victory. And after the match, don't know what happened here, but they're celebrating the Bloodline. And Jimmy walks over to the side of the ring, bends down, and gets like a word from the referee, and then just goes back and they celebrate for a second and then they cut. Not sure exactly what happened here, but yeah. The Bloodline actually picks up the victory. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought there was going to be way more tension from the Bloodline, which there was a lot. There was a lot of tension between all three brothers, or the Usos and Solo. And I loved this because Solo did the whole, on SmackDown, I know I'm going to do my part. You guys better do yours. Well, he did his part by winning the match. So let me go into our main event. Match itself goes 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Cody makes his way out to the ring first. Brock comes out second. Brock is walking around the ring and stops in front of the announce desk to kind of soak in the crowd, I guess you could say. When all of a sudden Cody says, "Screw this," and dives onto Brock, pushing him into the announce desk. The match has not started, so what does Cody do? He grabs steel steps and a steel chair and goes to town on Brock Lesnar before the match actually begins. Both men get in the ring, and the ref rings the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Cody goes for a disaster kick, but Lesnar caught him on a Cody cutter and hit a German suplex. Rhodes tried fighting back, but Lesnar hit a fall-away slam. Lesnar easily hit Rhodes with a suplex after suplex after suplex. Lesnar then hit another German, but Rhodes accidentally ripped off the top turnbuckle pad. There were then crowds for Suplex City and Let's Go Cody. At one point, Cody was in the corner and Brock ran at him. Cody moved out of the way and Brock goes face first right into the exposed buckle, where Brock, right between the eyes, literally right between the eyes. You see this little crease in my forehead here? Well, Brock's got one of them too that was busted open. Like, Brock cut deep the hard way, and Brock bleeding good. Really good. By the end of this match, whole face covered in blood. Cody then hits a Cody cutter and a disaster kick. Rhodes hammers away at Lesnar, who's bleeding all over Cody in turn, I guess you could say. Rhodes then follows up with another Cody cutter and consecutive crossroads, but only gets a near fall off of it. Lesnar at one point blocks another crossroads attempt and hits an F5 for a near fall. The ref then hands a handful of towels, but perhaps someone he's handed a handful of towels, and then all of a sudden just drops them. Someone in his ear is probably like, don't do it. So I don't know what happened there, but that was a little bit of a funny spot. Again, someone in his ear must have told him to put him away. We're not wiping Brock's face off yet. Bloody Brock then put Cody in the Kimura lock. Cody didn't want to tap. Cody teased tapping, but instead he reverses it into a cradle and gets just a quick flash fluke victory over Brock. He kind of like rolls around until he's got Brock's shoulders up, and the ref counts 1, bum, bum, and Cody bolts out of the ring. Then things get a little weird. So Cody jumps out of the ring, and they show Brock on his knees, just like on his knees, hands down, just looking. Then they cut to Cody, who's like scampering up the ramp backwards. And they go back to Brock, just on his knees, looking. Cut back to Cody. Cut back to Brock. Ref hands him the towel. Brock cleans off his face. And Brock cleans off his face, stands up, looks around, and we go off the air, basically. Very weird. Very odd. Almost felt to me, and I could be 1,000,000% wrong here, almost felt like to me as if something else was supposed to happen and everybody was waiting for it and then it got called off or something. I don't know if that's the case, but that's just kind of how it came off. Like something more maybe was at one point thought to have happened or supposed to happen or something, and then it didn't. So, yeah. Odd finish to a great show. Hence why I say, which I've been saying, like the crowd also about 3/4 of the way into, and by the time the show went off the air, just seemed kind of out of it. Like they got bored or tired or didn't really care much for the Brock Cody match towards the end. And then when the match ends, Cody gets the pin. There's a little bit of a reaction. Maybe I wasn't paying too much attention or something. I don't know, but I didn't hear like a big, oh, Cody won pop. You know what I mean? I didn't hear the big Cody got the victory big pop. So, yeah. Very strange ending to this show is all I'll say. But with that, guys, that was WWE Backlash. That was the Backlash pay-per-view from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Backlash. As we go to the polls, let's refresh all of these. Let's go here. Let's go here, and let's go here. So as far as the Twitter poll does go, 81% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 100% liked the show. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 82% liked the show, 13% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. From the comments here says, Puerto Rico was amazing. This person says I give it an 8 out of 10. Another one here says, the only thing I didn't like is they didn't have the street fight close out the show. I'm looking at some more. Person says, standard pay-per-view. And as far as the YouTube live poll does go, 91% liked the show, 7% thought it was just all right, and 1% didn't like the show. With that, guys, that's all we got. That was WWE Backlash. Remember, tomorrow, WWE will be revealing all 12 wrestlers, superstars, whatever you want to call them, that will compete in the tournament of the World Heavyweight Championship. Remember, on Monday, 2 triple threat matches. Winners of those triple threats will then face off in the main event of Raw and then go to Night of Champions. Then we do the same thing again on SmackDown. Night of Champions, crown the champion. It's Raw versus SmackDown. I'm going to put out a prediction here, not even knowing who's in the tournament. I'm going to say the finals. I think Seth wins this belt by beating AJ Styles in the finals. I could be completely wrong there. But if you want to do like the best match you can for this belt, and if he is good 100%, 1,000% to go, use Seth versus AJ for the new World Heavyweight Championship, and then Seth beats AJ. That's my prediction. So tomorrow we'll have that news as far as who is in the tournament. Then Monday morning we come back for the wrestling wrap-up, and then Monday evening we've got Monday Night Raw. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great coming up week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.